So then, if you saw my video yesterday covering the recent interview from Mikio Ikimoto, the illustrator, one of the creators of the Boruto manga, you'll know that his interview wasn't exactly the best. We mainly just covered one main topic from that, and that was how about Kishimoto wasn't a fan of Sarada's manga design in the Boruto manga, but I was kind of a bit too soon to jump to conclusions with that video because I released it a little bit too early because I did not realise that I was doing another interview today, and the interview today was much more interesting and gave us some interesting news regarding the future of both the Boruto anime and the Boruto manga. So huge shout out to Junbu Art. Her Twitter links will be in the description below for you guys to go check her out. She was at this panel where the interview was taking place, and she's been ever so kind to tweet all of the interesting answers and news from Ikimoto and the Jump editors and whatnot from this interview. Also, she does some fantastic, I mean next level stuff when it comes to Boruto fan art, and she's now actually taking commissions. So I just wanted to say that because Junbu, this interview I thought was much more interesting than yesterday's, that's for sure. But anyway, thank you so much for tweeting all of this and giving us all this news. You're now an official source of the Boruto news to the Boruto community, and we thank you for that. But anyway, let's jump into this interview. So then, this was her first tweet, her first point about the Boruto manga and anime, and that was, "You won't believe it, I gave my fan art to Ikimoto and he shook my hand." Also, I asked him about the manga and the anime story, and the Jump editor answered that they're taking two different paths, but they'll start adapting the manga someday. Now, we've already seen examples of the two stories taking different paths. Now, I firmly believe that the manga will still be the main source of story progression and information. All of the main bits that happen in the Boruto manga, I think, will be the same in the anime. Just the anime is going to add in a ton of extra stuff. For example, the student exams played out more or less the same, but in the anime they added in a ton of new stuff, but the end conclusion was the same as in the manga. I think that's how it's going to roll, to be honest. I think, for example, stuff like Kawaki's backstory, all of that, I think that'll be the same in the anime, just they might add in a few more things. So, an example of this is how actually we saw how Boruto and Sarada learned about Mitsuki's past. They were different between the anime and the manga. We learned about it in the current Mitsuki arc, as opposed to how we learned about it in the manga. So, although some of these arcs in the anime at the minute may seem like filler, there's a much more probable chance that they're actually canon. Boruto's really unique in all that, how the filler arcs technically are canon, but that's how this is some interesting stuff, how he says that they'll get around to adapting it someday. Now, whether they meant someday is in like someday far away, I don't think they meant it like that. I think it's probably going to be that the manga will be adapted either right at the end of this year or the start of next year. That's my personal opinion. Probably around January is what I'm going to say. But obviously they don't want to actually publicly announce that just yet. That may be something they may be saving for Jump Festa. Here's another really interesting point. Right, so also Ikimoto said that Boruto will have shorter hair in the future because its current hairstyle is too difficult to draw. He also said that the future of Sarada will be very interesting. Now, Boruto having short hair is actually quite a big deal because obviously we've seen the flashed forward of Boruto obviously fighting Kawaki, and we knew his design would change slightly from them because Ikimoto actually said that in an interview quite a while back. But now we're learning that his hair is going to be made shorter, which is, what are we talking about shorter? Just like an inch or two off the top? Or are we talking like current Naruto Hokage or the last level shorter? And that's going to be very interesting to see. We knew Boruto's teenage design was going to change a little bit, but completely changing his hairstyle is quite the drastic change. So that's going to be really interesting. And then obviously brought up about Sarada's future. Sarada's future being interesting. It's probably as vague as you could get it, but I'm guessing he's referring to some of the stuff like there's probably going to be a bit of drama maybe between her and Sasuke. Obviously, there's a lot of things kind of pointing towards, a lot of people speculating that Sasuke is going to die, and you know, Sarada to get a Mangekyo Sharingan. So I wonder if that's kind of what he's referring to. But like I said, it's incredibly vague, so I don't really want to talk about the whole Sarada future too much. Now then, this, in my opinion, is kind of the big one, because it actually gives us an insight as to what to expect about the Boruto manga for the next few months. So, Kara is a copied version of the Akatsuki, but it's changed a bit, so it's something new. I think that's just kind of like obvious. Most people kind of already pointed out the similarities between Kara and the Akatsuki, but obviously we know already that the Kara are a bit different than the Akatsuki. They're not a complete copy and paste, but it's quite interesting how Miki Ikimoto said that they're a copy. Whether or not, you know, they purposely based them off the Akatsuki, I'm not too sure. They probably did. He also said that they don't know about Himawari's future, which is quite interesting because a load of people talk about Himawari. People say she's going to be a great ninja. Some people think she's going to die. Some people think she's going to Tenseigan, Jinchuriki, all of that stuff. No one knows about Himawari. And guess what? Not even the writers do at this point. So I think it's safe to say we don't want to expect, we shouldn't expect anything about Himawari for quite a while, and personally I didn't expect her to do anything really until a time skip at the earliest, so oh well, that's that. The story will be centered around Kawaki for a while, and Ikimoto thinks that Mitsuki and Sarada are easy to draw. Yeah, Sarada probably is easy to draw because you hardly give her any clothes. But anyway, Kawaki being the main focus of the story for a while was quite interesting, because a lot of people were expecting Kashin Koji to kidnap Boruto in the next couple of chapters. Now, you'd think if Boruto got kidnapped, he would become main focus of the story straight away. But if Kawaki's going to be the main focus and essentially like a main character for a bit during the story, to me, that's going to be quite interesting. Obviously, this is his arc. We're kind of learning this relationship between him and Naruto, but confirmation now that Kawaki is the story's going to be centered around him for a while, which I think we're all pretty fine with, in my opinion. I think Kawaki's probably the best character in the Boruto manga. He's not my favourite, but I think in terms of what he offers, he's completely new. He doesn't feel like anything copy and pasted from Naruto, so I think Kawaki's a welcome addition, and if he's going to be the main character for a bit, so be it. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, this interview is way better than yesterday's interview. Now, my fingers are actually kind of crossed. I don't know, because I want another interview, but at the same time I don't have to do a third interview video, so I'm kind of hoping there's no interview tomorrow. I'm not too sure. I probably should have looked into it, but it's all Italian and I do not know Italian, so oh well, we'll have to see, because part of me wants there to be some more news, but at the same time, like I said, I do not want to have to make a third goddamn interview video. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're not already to become a member of the Senpai Squad. And I'll see you guys in another video. But until then, peace.